Hey, buddy.
Kelly, there's my Kelly. Hey, Kelly.
Good morning.
Ooh, we've been putting in work for an hour already.
Yeah. It's been good, though. It was productive.
Yeah. I am definitely busier this year than I was last time this year. And some technical difficulties at home. Whatever. We just finished week 1 recap for Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yep. This is accurate.
It was a good time.
It was alright. Are we going to figure out how we can go back to doing this remotely, or are we going to just have to do it in person each week?
So the issue is I had a Microsoft license through UMGC where I was getting my master's. And before that, I had it through work, and work didn't mind or didn't know that I was using it for fantasy football. And now I have neither of those. How do you have PowerPoint?
I pay for Office. It's really not that expensive.
How much is it?
Like, I want to say like $20 a year or something.
Well, if that's the case, then I'll do that.
I don't know. Let me check. How much does...
I thought it was like $100.
I don't know. It might be like $10 a month. Could be wrong.
We can sort it out after. If that's the case, then yeah, I'll just do things as normal.
Oh yeah, it's $100 a year or $10 a month. So I pay $10 a month for it. But it got to the point like when I was trying to find a new job, like I needed Word to like work on a resume, and I needed PowerPoint for our stuff. So $10 a month I think is worth it to have access to all that if I need it.
Yeah, and really $100 a year is nothing when spending like $50 on ice cream and all that stuff we just did yesterday.
Right.
However much those donuts were.
Yeah.
I'll probably just do that. I don't know. It's weird, like stuff that because $100 used to be a lot of money.
Right.
Or like a $600 car repair would be like disastrous.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely still have a lot of those. You don't just throw $100 at it because you can't figure it out. But I did try to do the same stuff that we've been doing in PowerPoint for years at this point in Google Slides, because Google Slides is free.
Mm-hmm.
And you literally can't do audio in Google Slides.
Yeah.
And then just converting from PowerPoint to Slides back to PowerPoint, it turned all the audio into like images, and like that wasn't good. But thankfully you have the other recap, so I was able to take the theme song off of one of the other ones and put it back in.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. So it was challenging, and then trying some things to save time here and there, and anytime you do that, you get an accordion of a new tactic, technique, skill, and the amount of time and bandwidth it takes expands while you learn it, and then shrinks once it does what it's supposed to do, and you do what you're supposed to do. So we're still in the early stages of that, and growing pains, week 1 stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing's
ever perfect on week 1 of anything.
Saw that last week in the NFL.
Sure did.
Fantasy is a blast.
Fantasy is a blast, although I didn't do super great this past week.
I was, out of the 10 Yahoo leagues, I was 5-5. I could have, arguably should have won every matchup, but left people on the bench.
Yeah, that got me against you this week
in
one league. In the other league, I beat you.
Yeah, but that's got me optimistic about this week. But definitely last week, going into Sunday, maybe even like Sunday night and Monday night, games that I thought I was going to lose, I ended up winning. Games that I thought I was going to win, I ended up losing.
Yeah.
Stuff happens.
Yep. And I mean, we're in the full thick of it now. Football's back. NFL's full force. It's a pretty glorious time. Although we did get, last week we did talk about how we got that first feelings of fall. But now we're definitely, that was a false fall.
It's just a taste. You never go right from one to the other.
It's true.
But this week's a hot week.
Yeah. What are we looking at this week? Yeah, for the next week, it's like high 90s.
No sign of dying off at the end of the forecast?
The 10-day forecast, like, the last 4 days of it are like the low 90s.
Okay. I'm getting there.
So, yeah, I mean, whatever. It's just we wanted that taste, but
It came at the exact right time.
it really did. Timed out real well.
I think the highlight, at least of the last 48, 72 hours, if not the last time that we talked, was Jer's birthday and birthday celebration.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun.
It's pretty fun, yeah. Wasn't mad at it. Well, most of it. I mean, the only thing I'll start. Like, we first went to this brewery yesterday that had a couple food trucks outside of it. And I got a burger from one place, and it literally is like a top 5 burger of all time for me. It was just so good.
Just dropped on you.
Yeah. So that was awesome. And then we went to a place called Cidercade, which is like one of those bar arcades. And that was pretty sweet, except for there's just so many kids, and they're all just so hyped up on caffeine and sugar, and they're just like cracked out of their heads and just screaming at the top of their lungs over the dumbest things. And it's like, I get it. Like, I probably used to do the same thing too, although I'm pretty sure I acted a little bit better in public than those kids were acting.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just the noise level. Like, it was just constant. Like,
You were literally reading the decibels?
I'm bummed that I didn't think to check it until, like, as we were walking out. But
Definitely one of those alcoves. It's probably the loudest place.
yeah. But, like, from where I was standing, it was like 84, 85 decibels whenever I read it, which is pretty loud. To be constantly at that level. Like, right now, what is just the ambient sound in here?
6 decibels.
53.
It's 53 decibels? I thought 100 was a lot.
100 is a lot.
And yesterday we walked out and it was 83 or 86?
Yeah. So on this, it has like a little gauge, and anything up to 70 is like green, kind of normal. 70 to 90 is like starting to get loud, and then anything over 90 is just like, that's real loud. But yeah, like 50, it's telling me what it compares like the level to, and 50 is like a quiet office. So there's just some like ambient noises and a little bit going on.
It's interesting though that like halfway to bad for your ears, it still sounds pretty quiet. Like I think most people would say quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Just that 0 through 40 range. Just like shades of black, shades of silent.
Yeah, and now that's got me thinking about like those like super quiet rooms,
Right.
like, that make people go crazy. That it's like 0 decibels or something like that. Like humans aren't designed to not hear anything.
Right. It's like a Kelvin situation where like you can imagine very cold, but you can't imagine like absolute 0.
Right.
And I've heard in those rooms that like people start to hear their own process, like their own bodily processes, which like people are used to hearing like their stomach make noise sometimes, but like you start hearing things that you like.
You hear your heartbeat. You hear like a bunch of squelching and stuff moving through your intestines.
I want to do it.
I believe you want to do it. that totally tracks.
It's like somewhere on the West Coast, right? Hopefully there's more than one place.
Yeah, there's more than one. I think one might be at like the University of Minnesota or something.
I know one you can pay like $60, but you're only in there for like. I think most people like leave before you run out of time. But it's like 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to stay in there for an extended period of time. Like I'd maybe want like 2 to 3 minutes max. Just like give my ears a second to adjust and just be like, damn, that's real quiet. All right, let's get out before I go crazy.
You never done like a sensory deprivation tank?
No.
I like the idea, but it's definitely like too distracting. Like just being in water and like a little coffin type thing. I like the idea of a room of absolute silence and like either totally black or totally white.
Not totally white. That'd be horrible.
I think it'd be too bright.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
The the Monday or the morning. I mean, that food was really great. I got it's at a brewery. They got the food trucks. I got the same sandwich. Jared got like the OG, the spicy.
The spiced chicken sandwich.
But I got it with like the way it comes.
Mm.
And then the onion
Petals.
Yeah, that was really good. You like that?
Those were really good.
And then I didn't get a burger because I got a beer. But the one bite of burger that I got, just like letting it sit in the mouth, was great.
Yeah, again, I said it yesterday, but I was bummed that I didn't even think to offer you a bite because I was just so excited about my burger because I get my burgers all the way. Jer has stuff you can't have on burgers. And the style of burger is like an Oklahoma smash burger, which is like basically where they like put meat down and then like a little ball of meat on a griddle, and then they put like a handful of like really thinly sliced onions on top and just like smash it into the burger. And
I support that.
It was so good. It was so good.
That was great. And then my cidercade experience, I don't know what I was expecting. I guess the possibility of children, but as soon as we walked in there, it's all these kids, and like seeing more than one kid, I immediately was like, oh, disease, sickness.
Yeah, if none of us end up sick within the next couple days, I'll be just dumbfounded.
I don't think school's been in for a month yet, and that's like all anybody's been talking about on Facebook. I went to a lunch with my work team Friday, and everyone has kids, bunch of moms. So and so got sick, and then got me sick, and then got so and so sick, and then I was sick again. It's just that's I might be getting a thing about it. That like a bunch of kids in one place is gross, and is the what is that word? Communicable disease like factory.
Yeah.
So I was definitely I don't know. I don't think I'm like OCD or I don't think I fixate on this, but I think I definitely was at times yesterday. And I was like, ah.
I was definitely thinking about it like almost the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, just because now, and I was telling Jer this in the car on the way back because we were kind of talking about our highlights and whatnot, and lowlights, I guess, of what had happened in the day so far. And I'm just at the point now where like I don't like, even if it's kids or adults, like being around so many people in like a small enclosed space, like. That just gets my anxiety up a bit. Like I can still handle it. Like it's not debilitating by any means, but it's just like I don't want to be there at all.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer because like I used to like going to concerts and stuff, but now I don't like want to go stand with like people touching me all over the place. Like,
yeah.
But it is what it is. I'm just hoping that I'm tall enough that all the kids' germs stayed low and like. My head was above it all. Although I was touching all the same stuff the
right.
snot-nosed little brats were touching.
Ash offered us hand sanitizer afterwards, and everybody was like, yes.
And I am not a hand sanitizer person, because I hate how it feels on my hands. Like, my hands felt sticky until I got home. And the smell, like, especially that specific smell of lotion she had, or sanitizer, really triggered a memory that's not like a super pleasant memory for me. Like it's not horrible, but it's just like, but I can still smell, like I've washed my hands numerous times since getting home yesterday, and I still can smell that smell of that sanitizer on my hands.
Yeah.
So I just, I don't like it.
Mentally I equate it to, because I think people know, like, I like kids. Like, I like seeing my nieces and nephews. I like personal development. There's a lot that I like, but that situation specifically, I equate it to like a body of water, and like when you know that a body of water you're not supposed to swim in because everybody gets sick when they come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know that there's just like gross stuff in there. Don't get it in your eyes. Don't swallow it. That's
swimming in the Rhine during the Olympics.
the sin. Yeah.
Sin.
That was definitely what I was thinking of. I was like, this is just gross. There's just so many of them.
I'm just honestly like I was thinking about this yesterday too. Like, I really hope Jared doesn't get sick now. Like,
right,
because he's leaving the country in
on a
48 hours
on a boat. And yeah, folks are like, well, how could this have happened? How would you do that? I like we got donuts after that, and his donuts are just so rich, so big, and just so many calories per. I definitely have a lot of work to do to earn those donuts.
That's another thing too. Like, I've definitely like reached a point in my life where I'm kind of over like the super extravagant, over the top like foods.
Mm-hmm.
Like the super crazy fancy donuts. Like, I didn't get any yesterday because it's just like that's just too much for me. Like,
mm-hmm.
I don't get the excitement out of it like I used to. Like, I used to love eating all the wild, crazy, huge things, but I just don't enjoy it anymore.
Yeah. We came back to the house after that downtown, or closer to downtown stuff.
In town.
I had ice cream and cake while I was over here. I had a strawberry shortcake donut that was, filled with whatever and
mm-hmm.
whatever on top. Went home, had eggs and bacon, and then had ice cream and that other donut, the horchata donut. So I don't know. Yeah, 2,700 calories of desserts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's fine. Just birthday season. Legos?
Yep. We played with Legos a bit. That was one of Jeremy's requests, is we'd all get our own Lego kit and sit around a table and Lego for a while. Which definitely was fun.
I had mine picked out for a while. Actually, when we pulled the trigger on that, I think his and mine arrived on the same day, even though I think I ordered mine and they arrived the day of. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, basically within 30 minutes of him declaring that's something he wanted to be a part of his birthday, I had mine on the way.
Yeah.
Or I'd ordered it.
Yeah.
I definitely overestimated how quickly I thought I could put it together.
Yeah.
But I did pretty well on the time. Like, we were at it for about an hour and a half, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about a quarter of the way done. Mine's like 1,100 pieces or something. But it's also, this is the first, I think, it's not just a regular Lego, it's Lego Technic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just your normal Lego, like there's no normal Lego blocks, like they're different pieces and a whole bunch of different stuff. If it was just regular Lego, like, I probably could have gotten, because I did the calculations and I was like, I need to fit 12 pieces per minute.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like not that hard, especially if you null everything out in the beginning and can find it all quickly. But there's just so many different pieces, and they're also like some tiny pieces. And I messed up at one point, and I had to like take a few steps back. But I'm like all this morning, I've been thinking about going back down there and working on it.
Nice.
Like, I want to, but I also want to work on my other, like, my actual model airplane. And just, I got so much.
Now when you get tired of one, you can go to the other.
I mean, there's no real getting tired of any of them. It's just time management. Like, I've got too many interests and hobbies to have to work. Like, I don't need to, like, I need to work for money and like insurance, but I have so many things that I could do that I'd enjoy doing way more than work. all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I feel so bad for people that, like, well, if I won the lottery or something, like, I'd still have a job because I need something to do. I'm like, bruh, there's a whole world of fun things to do. Like, working is not that thing. But, whatever.
Whatever. I might keep doing what I do. If I win the lottery.
And I believe it and I feel bad for you. I mean, no, like, quit. Go start, like, a ranch or something. Get some animals, work on a farm or something.
That's true, but I'm still relatively in shape and I can still do good for people.
Grow crops. Raise beef.
Yeah. Definitely if I was, like, in sales or anything that wasn't as servant leadership focused.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But also, you're right. If you win the lottery, you should quit your job and go do some fun stuff.
I mean, it's just disrespectful if you don't.
It is a little bit. I think about. I mean, that's a whole.
Like, I think anybody who has over, like, I'll say 20 million in the bank, if they're still working, like, unless you're like a sports star, which I kind of understand that because their careers are short anyway. It's not like they're gonna be doing that until they're 65 anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
but winning the lottery, you do kind of owe it to everybody who didn't win the lottery.
Exactly.
Which opens up a philosophical can of worms, but that's kind of how I feel about life generally. It's totally improbable that you would be experiencing the universe through eyes and senses and this place, this time, out of all the universe that is and ever was. So you kind of owe it to the rest of the universe that never got a chance to scratch its butt to scratch your butt. Or all the other things.
It's very, very true.
But that's a whole other thing. Legos. I got little Lego plants now. That's fun. I also, on the first one I did, missed a piece and had to do some surgery. Go back in. But it was relatively simple. Definitely looked more simple than what you were working on.
Yeah, mine has like gears and springs and moving parts, and it's a lot, but it's gonna be real cool when it's done.
I think the highlight, the Triple R movie.
Yeah,
that's great.
I mean, it's been on my radar for a while now. Like, it seemed like it'd be a fun movie. It was just real long.
Yeah.
And we were watching it at the end of an already long day. Like, I got up yesterday way earlier than I would normally ever get up. And we did a whole bunch of stuff. So I was just like, as much as I was enjoying it, I was like, just please end. I want to go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really good. Like, I'd probably watch it again at some point. Like, I think it has a rewatchability factor.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely like a twist, secrets in there. I think that where was it going with this? Oh, it's unapologetically like bro love. The boys.
It's definitely a bromance movie.
Yeah, and then the just so much of the like Indian films tropes,
Bollywood,
just over the top.
I mean, I think Ash said something like this last night, but I think like all media should be done like that.
Funny.
They crushed that.
Yeah.
It was so like I want to find more like of that kind of stuff. I want to watch more like Bollywood stuff.
The dance that they had in the middle at the country club or whatever.
The dance off.
The dance off. And I like the song that they were singing was just about like when you just gotta go for it. It's just all about the intensity of the dance. But then the dance that they had at the end too, like only having like 2 song and dances.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the movie could have been like 6 hours if they had done what I think is normal in those films. Just have like the point of the last 15 minutes was to get to this 15-minute dance, just over and over and over again.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I think because it was such a long movie and there was only really 2 big dance numbers, they were spread out enough to where I think it was like about perfect amount for the movie, to where it didn't like destroy the movie or take away from it. It definitely added to it.
In the car back, I was telling Ash, like, this relatively small amount of songs, and she's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, well, it's just the two dances I just said. And she was like, what about the song where it was, like, talking about, oh man, I forget what it was. But a lot of the narration was actually song, and we were just, like, reading it. But, like, the forest fight scene, a lot of it was actually sung, and that got me thinking about just how stuff develops. Like, we got TV in the 50s, 40s, and even up until, I guess some of it's still today, but, like, I remember watching, like, early episodes of Cheers, and being like, this is, like, a play. Like, it's stage direction, and, like, how the TV we have looks like plays in, like, the 20s, 30s, 40s, because that was, like, the natural crossover of, like, we got people, and you can do stuff on stage that looks like TV editing today, where, like, half the stage is whatever in light, and then they're, like, setting up the stage that's dark, and then that goes dark, and then you light up the other part, and you can, like, go through time in different places that way. But it's different, obviously, than all the editing and cool stuff, CGI, that you can do in TV and movies. But then India, you take that same thing, you're like, hey, we can put on video stuff, and they're like, well, we don't do, stage plays like you white folk, but check out this awesome shit. Song and dance, and it's what they do.
And they crush it. They're so good at it. And it's funny because yesterday, I'm pretty sure it was yesterday morning, I was just scrolling through Reddit as I do, and I came across one, like, little video. It was like a minute-long clip of a bunch of Indian women in, like, a dance studio rehearsing, like, a dance for maybe a wedding or something. And just the intensity and the energy just from that, like, that one video, it was just, like, so cool. Like, they've got so much more riz than white people.
Actually, this is probably, like, the 7th time I've talked about this. Have you ever seen Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, or Seven Brothers for Seven Brides, whatever the name of that movie is?
No.
Have you heard of it?
I think so, maybe. But maybe not.
You know about movies like Singing in the Rain and Is My Fair Lady like this? Where it's like song and dance is a part of the movie.
Yeah, they're musicals.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. Musicals. I think of Seven Brothers for Seven Brides. I gotta figure out which way that goes. But that, the dance off in the middle of the movie, that's what it made me think of, where it's like, everybody's dancing, the good guys and the bad guys. We're gonna dance this out. And that was fun. But India's had movies for however long they've had movies, and it seems like they're still like, no, the quintessential film is the musical, guys.
And I'm not going to disagree with them. I don't know. It was really good. I'm definitely going to look into more of those types of movies. Although I definitely got to set expectations that they're probably not going to be, like, that good. Because that was, like... That movie won a ton of awards, and the crossover appeal for it to the Western world was really big. Whereas a lot of that's Indian Bollywood stuff doesn't really cross over too great into the Western world.
Do you remember, or have you heard of a movie called Swades? Swades? Well, I mean, that was 2004, maybe a little earlier. So presumably there have been some movies in between then and RRR, however you're supposed to say it. But that was a big crossover movie because it was about like an Indian aerospace engineer working in NASA, and then he goes back to India. And similar themes of, like, Indian nationalism of going to space is cool and all that, but what's really important is the country.
I don't know, one thing too about Triple R was, I guess I've never really studied it too much or thought about it too much, but, like, the British occupation of India, like, British were pretty bad people. And it's also, like, wild that, like, a tiny little island nation like England could get all the way to India in, like, such a big country and just, like, kind of conquer it.
Yeah. Guns, man. Guns, germs, and steel.
Yeah. It's freaking white people, man. We ruined everything.
India was a little special because they were not like India's like China, where like they've been doing civilization for a long ass time, and like sharpening what civilization is, especially in like warfare and stuff. That was the British doing what they did in India was always their most like tenuous, like we've got a handle on this for now. But there's also like 10 million people unaccounted for that are very angry at us somewhere and just like constantly uprising over here, over there, over here, over there. And definitely playing on the that's what they're really good at, is like pick a group and understand its rivals and then just constantly like play everybody off everybody else.
Yeah.
So that they don't have to kill everybody and do everything. It is a super interesting history, though, because like a lot of the generals in the American Revolutionary War, like Howe and Burgoyne and Clinton, they all went to India afterwards and just dominated, and get knighted and get all the distinguished order and cross of this and that, and did great things in yet another place far, far away from home. And by great things, I mean great in the sense of like great and terrible.
Yeah.
Not like morally good.
Yeah. Good times.
I understand Jared had a good time.
I think for the most part, yeah. He definitely was a little bummed that the schedule didn't go exactly how he wanted it to go.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the night, he was happy. Like, as I was going to bed, like, as we were saying goodnight to each other, he was like, said thank you for everything and stuff in a really genuine way. And
that's nice.
So.
Yeah, Ash texted him. Got the same vibe.
But yeah, now he's on full-on trip prep. And I was thinking about it too. This is something interesting. This trip is huge for him, but it's giving me something that I've never experienced really as an adult. But I've never, like, since moving out of our parents, I've always lived with Jeremy.
Mm-hmm.
We've never, like, the amount of time he's going to be gone is going to be the longest I will have ever, one, not seen him, but two, just, like, lived by myself, because I've never lived alone.
Mm-hmm.
So, now I'm going to get, like, 16 or 17 days or something of just living alone. That's pretty exciting for me.
Even when you went to, like, College Station and other stuff for Red Lobster?
I don't think I was ever, like, I think I was only ever, I was gone in, like, maybe, like, 10-day increments at the max.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'd have some days off, and then I'd go and I'd just work for, like, 9 days, maybe, in a row, and then go home. I'm pretty sure. But even then, I wouldn't count that because I was in a hotel. Like, I wasn't in my house, in my living quarters. I couldn't go to my own bed. I couldn't go out to my backyard and do all my normal things.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I definitely spent months at a time in hotels and other non-home places.
But yeah, so I'm pretty excited for that for me. We'll see how it goes, because I mean, I'm constantly thinking about moving away, and I always got to remind myself, if I move away, I'm gonna be alone because y'all aren't gonna come with me. So.
Do you want Ash and I to treat you like you're in total isolation?
No. I mean, it's not like y'all will be coming over a lot anyway or anything. I was thinking about not this coming weekend, but the weekend after that. maybe taking off like 2 days before, like a Thursday, Friday before that. And then like that Thursday through Sunday, just like not seeing my family, not seeing you or Ash or anything, and just being totally alone with like not having to talk to people at work or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't decided if I want to do that yet or not. We'll see. I might though, because Q4 is going to be really busy for me at work.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be like my last little time to take a breath, pause. Because I've got like 18 renewals I have to pull in Q4. Just a lot.
Like you have to get done or pull into Q4?
Or get done.
Okay. I was like, okay, good.
I mean, luckily I've already got 3 of them done.
Is the expectation to get 100% done? Or is there an understanding that like some fall off?
I mean, I'd say like 98% get done. Like, there's always going to be some churn, like some people who don't renew, but that's very, very few because our software is just so sticky.
Cool.
And then there are some that like, it's mostly they're all going to get. I mean, I guess one of the 3 that I already have done, it's churned, but I'm hoping that's my only one because I think I can only, according to my comp plan, like I get a bonus if I hit a certain level of churn. Like if I can renew like 90-something% of my clients, I get some kind of bonus at the end of the year. But I did the math and it was like, I think if I have like 2 clients churn, then I don't get it.
Yeah, that sounds right on 18. That sounds right.
Well, it's not even just 18 because I've already had like a dozen or more that I've already done for the other quarters. And none of them churn. But maybe I can have 2 churn and I'll be okay, but no more than that at all. But anyway, I got a lot of work to do in Q4. And plus with holidays and stuff, like it's basically I have 2 months to do it all instead of 3. Like,
yeah.
All needs to be done basically before December. So it's going to be busy.
That was always a giant pain in the butt with federal agencies and the public procurement process and a system integrator between us and the federal agency. That's like, we'll play nice and say that, the taxpayer and what you guys do is so important. Don't even worry about it. We'll sort it out. And they go with the system integrator and be like, why do you hate us? Why are you making this take so long? Well, you gotta whatever. Like, just, you buy it and sort it out with them afterwards.
Yeah, luckily I don't have any government accounts, which the person who has those on my team, like, I definitely hear about it from them, like how
there was just never
pulling teeth.
You can never do anything early enough, talk to enough people. It's like, all right, this year I got this person and that person. We're starting 3 weeks earlier. It just never mattered. It was always last 48 hours, ulcers, pulling out hair.
I mean, luckily, like I work with the smaller clients of our business.
Okay, yeah. So just like one person to talk to, and
so pretty much like a lot of mine is like, I talk to one person, they're going to be the contract signer. We come to an agreement on a call. I send them over the contract. I drop the contract. I send it over to them. They sign it. It's all done within a couple days.
The dream.
Which is pretty sweet. But yeah. So I might take a little bit of time off, have a real seclusion little time. But we'll see. I just haven't decided yet. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting next couple weeks.
For sure. I just hope you keep your eye on what's really important.
Which is?
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
I mean, I'm definitely tracking that, but yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
I can tell you who I'm playing next week, but I did not know that I was playing Ashley this week until like the week it started. Like, was looking at waivers or whatever.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be a fun week. Michigan football's dead.
Because you won?
28-18 against an FBS school.
Okay. I would be more sympathetic, but TCU lost last night after leading 21 points.
I mean, it's TCU.
That wasn't great.
Yeah, it is what it is. Maybe college ball will be better next year. But it's okay because we got all the NFL.
Yeah, I got a bunch of teams I'm rooting for in college, so it's fine. Including Michigan. I'm glad you guys won.
We play USC next week. It's going to be a bloodbath.
USC?
Yeah.
Like you're going to bloodbath them?
No.
Oh, dear.
I mean, they're like number 11 in the country.
Are you playing there, or they come to you? It doesn't matter. Because you already lost in Michigan to UT.
Yeah. I don't know. It'd be interesting.
Yeah. Texans on Sunday night?
Yeah, tonight.
Against the Brewers.
I kept wondering about that because I was like, I knew it was tonight, but then guy I used to work with, he runs like a weekly DraftKings fantasy game that he always invites me into, and I do it because it's only $5 a week. And the last couple of years, like I won enough to like where it covered the cost for my whole year, and I guess this week he was on a cruise in the Bahamas this week. So something about like he couldn't set up the normal game where it's like the whole weekend of games slate. It's just Sunday games. But I guess it's just the Sunday afternoon games because the Texans and Bears, like none of those players were available, which is weird because like why not count Sunday night too? But yeah, put my lineup in for that this morning. Made sure all my other lineups are set. Got my first win with my All Texans team last week. That was a lot of fun.
Dude.
But yeah. What else do you got?
That can be it for today. I'm gonna smoke some dino ribs.
Nice.
So I gotta get those on.
When do the Cowboys play? 3?
No, they play at noon.
Noon. Wow.
There's 10 noon games today. Like last week there were 8, and we were like, that's a lot of games.
Well, all right. Well, what time is it? Yeah. Time keeps on slipping.
Into the future.
Alrighty, everybody. If you made it to the end, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, tell your friends, and never forget that we built this city on rock and roll.